Okay, hello everyone. Today we'll be looking at change notifier provider actually state management. Now, in an application, we pass states. States is basically data. Now, depending on the size of the application, you need to handle your data in a concise and good manner. Now, reasons being, a small app like this, it wouldn't really matter how you place your data. It wouldn't because it wouldn't really affect things like performance. But it's very simple. Just click the button and you're just adding. That's just it. But in an app where you have multiple processes and you are always rebuilding the screen, because that's what this set state does. When you tap this, it's literally telling the screen to rebuild and update this. Okay, but we don't want the whole screen to rebuild. We just want to update this particular thing. Yeah, right. So that's where Provider comes in, state management tool. Now there are multiple versions of the block. There's Riverpod. But for this video, we're going to use Provider. We're going to take it very, very basic. Okay, so we'll create a folder, a file, which is provider test. Very simple. We have class, and then we have the name. Now we're going to extend this class with a change notifier so we can listen to the changes made in effect to whatever method we have inside here. Okay, I will show you. I will explain what it means in a bit. All right, so we have variable which is counter, which is set to 0 by default. Okay, when we start the Flutter app, it's always 0. Now we want to create a method which is increment. Now in this method we want to add. Okay, with each click add one. Okay, so we're going to have counter plus plus, which is basically add one. Now, we could literally go and rebuild this entire app. We could go and implement the provider changes, but the thing is that when we click on this button, nothing's going to change at all. Nothing's going to change because it's not listening to changes. Now, the change notifier has a property called, a widget inside of it called notify listeners. Okay, this is to let your app know that, oh, I've done this. Let me see the appropriate change. Okay, without it, it will not. Okay. So now we have this particular widget. Let's come and implement it over here. Now, we wrap the entire class, the my app class. All right, so we have change notifier provider. That's what we use. Now we'll pass the exact provider class, which is provider test. So we have provider right here, and then we have the child, which would then be my app. So when we save this, nothing has happened. Okay, so let's come over here. All right, let's restart the app. Give it a second, give it a second. All right, here it is. Okay, still works. All right, we then come over here. This entire app has been covered. For some reason, it crashed. Let's see. What did it say? Oh, I already restarted the new one. So we'll come down here, and rather than use this entire thing, we wrap this scaffold. We wrap the entire scaffold in a widget called consumer. Okay. Now consumer is quite interesting. Alright, so we don't need child anymore. Now we just cut this entire cut this entire scaffold. And then inside here we will return scaffold. All right, so this works. Now to pass in the exact one, we'll use provider test. Okay, change this to provider. Okay, so we'll change this to, okay, I think we'll just leave that part because we'll just change this counterpart to provider dot oh okay, so that might just give us a stress here, so let's just say um amount or string number is equals to provider dot int dot counter, sorry. No, it's an integer. Yeah, that's it. So here we'll just have number. Okay, just this. And then here we'll have provider dot increment. All right, so let's see. I've reloaded our application. Now let's see. If it comes up, no problem. All right, it comes up. Let's see what happens. There it is. So that's how you implement provider state management. Now, this is just an easy way to do it. We can and we will use it for other applications, ways to use states, and then you see that it's much faster than just having it like this. Sure, for an app of this magnitude, which is just a calculator, not a calculator, just incrementation, it doesn't really show a difference. But in an app that is big, an app that's going to scale, an app that's going to have different functions, and especially in an app with clean architecture, where you have the presentation layer, you have the domain, and you have the data layer, and you want to keep everything separate, state management comes into play there. And if you want to be a good developer, you would need to implement it and use. And sure, you could just use ST in a lot of places, but really it's just going to slow down your app. You might not notice it, but once you use proper state management and you arrange your code in a nice way, you see that it's faster. And if it's faster, that means your users, your consumers will enjoy your product better. Okay, so that's it for this particular video. That's how you use provider in Flutter. So I hope you enjoyed this and see you in the next one.